Hi, I'm Laurie, and welcome to your postnatal booty and core workout. What you're going to need today is a mat. You will also need something squishy like a ball. Now, if you don't have a ball, I was actually about to use this decorative pillow, which will do the trick as well, because my child hid this from me, but I found it, so yay. So you can use a decorative pillow, you can wrap up a towel, turn it into a ball. Just be creative with what we have. You will also need either a chair or a bench. You do not need both. I just have them both set up so I can provide you with different angles. If you have a chair, make sure it's sturdy and place the back of a chair against a wall. Here's how it's going down. We have 13 different exercises. We will be performing each exercise for 1 minute. In between each exercise, we will have 15 seconds to recover. While you recover, I will demonstrate the next exercise. Also, for some of the exercises towards the ends, I will be providing options up in the corner. If you have severe diastis recti, separation of the abdominals, you may want to take the option, or you may take the exercise that I'm giving you. Make sure you always check with your doctor, your physical therapist, find out what works for you, and then we're gonna do it. So grab all your stuff and let's get going. Our first exercise, we are going to start on the chair. So go ahead and make sure you're sitting down with a neutral pelvis, spine is nice and long, shoulders down and away from the ears. Before we get into the good stuff, we're gonna practice the basics. So we need to practice the breathing. So take your hands into a C, place them on the outsides of the rib cage. As we inhale, fill up that rib cage, front, sides, back. As we exhale, feel the pelvic floor lift, almost like you're pushing off the seat, and engage the TVA. So you're drawing that belly button up and in. You should feel like a lifting sensation. Let's repeat that. Inhale. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts, TVA engages. All right, let's practice that a few more times. And I get it, breathing, this isn't fun, it's not sexy, it's boring to some, but we have got to get this down. The more we practice at it, just like anything, the better we're gonna get at it. And the more it's just gonna come second nature, especially when we're doing everyday life activities like picking up that baby that just gets heavier and heavier. So inhale, fill it up. Exhale, engage pelvic floor, TVA goes up and in. We have got to engage that TVA, which is super challenging to do, especially postnatal. So if you ever notice any coning or tenting down the midline, please stop and come back to this breath, work on it until you get it down. All right, one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Draw it up and in. All right, so we are going to strengthen the pelvic floor and core. We're also going to strengthen the muscles surrounding those because that's always a good thing. Place the ball or your something squishy in between the thighs. So above the knees, just not directly on the knees. From here, we're going to go with seated abduction. So we continue that nice, good posture. Inhale, exhale, draw it up and in, squeeze the ball. Now we're getting the inner thighs involved as we adduct. Squeeze the ball, control it out. I really want you to make that hard squeeze and really squeeze it before letting it go. So slower is better on this. We have 1 minute. We go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Inhale, fill up that rib cage. So getting that breath down, pelvic floor engaged, squeeze that ball, then let it go. Inhale, fill up that rib cage. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts, TVA engages. You're squeezing that ball. This will also tone your inner thighs. Big squeeze, hard contraction. Try to hold it for at least 1 count, possibly 3 counts if we can. Halfway through, 30 seconds down, 30 seconds to go. Then you get a recovery. This is a great warm-up to do. Slower is better on this. Final 15. Squeeze and release. Last 10. Two more reps. Last 3, 2, 1, and recover 15 seconds. Our next exercise will be a bench tap squat or a chair tap squat. So we're just holding this ball from here. We bring it up, squeeze the ball, and then control it on the way down. Drive through the heels. We go in 3, 2, 1. Drive through the heels, squeeze the ball, release, sit it back down. Bring it up, drive through the heels, squeeze the ball, control it down. Chest stays lifted. You can squeeze the glutes as well. As we squeeze the ball, release it down. Now go slow as we bring it down. The slower we go on this eccentric phase, the more our glutes and hamstrings will work as well. Drive it up through the heels, squeeze the ball, squeeze the glutes, control it down. Make sure you don't thrust the hips forward. 30 seconds down, 30 seconds to go. Inhale, exhale, drive, squeeze, control it down. Final 15 seconds. Then we get a nice little break. One squeeze, bring it in. Let's do one more rep. Last 3, 2, hold at the top, grab your ball. Next up, side bends. So one hand, the right hand has the ball, left hand goes behind the head. Inhale, fill up the rib cage. Exhale, engage TVA. We bring that ball down and then we lift. We're using the left oblique to lift. We go in 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, drive it up. So we're bending towards the right using this left oblique. And we're keeping the TVA engaged throughout. So if ever you lose that connection to your TVA, come out of it, reset, regroup, and then start moving. We want to be able to hold the TVA up and in while we do this, but we're not holding the breath. 30 down, 30 to go, slow and controlled. Ball is in tight to the outer thigh. Continue that breath. We have 15 seconds. 10. 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to crank up that adduction. You can always bring it back to the seat for an option or a modification. So from here, we're in a narrow squat hold, and we're just going to squeeze that ball, release. Holding the squat, engaging the glutes, hamstrings, but now we're going to get the inner thighs and pelvic floor. We go in 3, 2, 1. Squeeze it, release. Squeeze it, release. So you may feel your pelvis kind of go into a posterior tilt as we squeeze, and that's my preferred method. Neutral, slight posterior. So I'll give you a little view. It's very, very slight. Make sure we're not in an anterior tilt. If your belly is dipping forward, that means your abdominals are stretched out, and it's kind of impossible to engage a muscle that's being stretched. Keep this tempo. Iso squat hold. With this adduction, you can increase your range of motion. You can decrease it like I'm doing. 10 seconds, heavy in that heel. Wiggle those toes. Squeeze that ball. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right, ball goes into the left hand. We're coming onto side bends. Left side, fill up that rib cage, re-engage, TVA. Hand goes behind. Take this slow and controlled. Inhale down, exhale back up. We go in 3, 2, 1. Nice and slow. We can always reduce the range of motion. We all know that being 6 weeks postnatal is way different than being 3 months postnatal. And it's way different than being 6 months postnatal. So always honor your body and your range of motion. Slower is better to start out, and a decreased range of motion is always better too. 30 seconds down, 30 seconds to go. It's up and in. Working our core strength back. 20 more seconds. You can always just look down. Look down. If you ever notice any coning or tenting, stop immediately. You should be able to see that engagement. Should happen. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. All right, next up we have a hip thrust with one adduction. So you're coming to your bench. I'm going to give you a different view just so you can see me better. Ball goes in between the inner thighs. Posterior tilt, we drive up. One squeeze, then we bring it down. Get into position, we go in 3, 2, 1. Posterior tilt, drive through the heels. Squeeze the ball, release it down. So it's glutes, inner thighs, slow and controlled on the way down. We want to make sure your hips are staying underneath your rib cage. So if you do not do this posterior tilt, it's really easy to go with a stretched belly up, which really just hurts your low back. So this is the best method. Posterior tilt, drive through the heels, big squeeze of the glutes, squeeze the ball, release it down, 30 to go. Looking straight ahead. I'll give you an example of what we don't want. That number. It hurts my low back just doing it once. It's all in the glutes. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Recover. All right, while you're down here, I'm going to show you what's next. Now we hold this ISO hip thrust, and we're just going to pulse that ball in. Big squeeze, release. Big squeeze, release. All right, so posterior tilt, engaging the glutes. We go. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the ball, release. So my bench is about 20 inches high. So I have the bottom of my shoulder blades on the bench. You need to adjust it with the height. So you definitely want to keep the hips underneath the rib cage. Maintain that posterior tilt. Glutes are on fire. Squeezing that ball, slow and controlled. Squeeze it, drive it in. So we are not focused on the core right here. We are focused on glutes, inner thighs, pelvic floor as we squeeze. Final 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Release. All right, we're coming into a bird dog. I'll give you an option above if this is too much. So quadruped position, inhale, belly button draws up and in towards the spine. Opposite hand, opposite arm reaches out, and then we return to center. We alternate. We go in 3, 2, 1. Return to center. You should probably have a little roundness of the spine that will ensure that your TVA is engaged. Slow and controlled. Take your time, reset. I want you to make sure that TVA is engaged before we extend. Opposite hand, opposite arm. Halfway. After this exercise, we will need your ball again. You can do it without a ball, or you can do an option. Engage TVA, then we lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, next up, we have a donkey kick on the right side. You can come onto your forearms or the hands. Ball is behind the right leg. We take the right leg up, and then we bring it back down. Here we go. Left hand goes out to the side. We go in 3, 2, 1. Lift it up, bring it down. Dorsiflex at the ankle. Slow and controlled. Working those glutes. 1 count up. 3, 2, 1 on the way down. Got to keep those glutes nice and strong. Strong glutes. I'm telling you, that's what's up. Especially postnatal. If you have a lot of sciatica pain, strong glutes will help. 30 seconds down, 30 seconds to go. Hip point square. You can always bring it to the hands if that feels better. Decrease the range of motion. Belly button hugging up and in. My glute is on fire. 10, 8, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, bring it in. Next up, we have donkey kicks on the left. So bring the ball behind the left leg. Make sure that ball is hugged in tight. Dorsiflex at the ankle. You can come onto your hands or forearms. Do what works for you. We go in 3, 2, 1. Squeeze at the top. So if you do not like it on the forearms, come to the hands. Try it out. And you can always, you don't have to bring it into that perfect quadruped position. You can be shifted back. That'll help engage the TVA a little bit more. It'll make it more doable. Just squeeze that ball. Working hamstrings and glutes. Hip points square, slow and steady. Last 20 seconds. After this, we come on our backs. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's get rid of that ball. Come over onto the left side, roll down, and then come onto your back, alternating the ends. So we're right here, very small range of motion to start. Press the low back into the earth. Inhale, exhale, engage TVA. Let's go. I need you to keep that TVA engaged. If you notice, go ahead, place your hands on your belly. We should not feel any coning or tenting. If you do, stop. Stop immediately. Re-engage with the breath and just work on activating the TVA with your breath. What we did at the beginning of this class. Very, very small range of motion here. Inhale up, exhale, control. Inhale up, exhale, control. 30 seconds down, 30 seconds to go. Place your hand on the working muscle group. You should feel it go in, no bulging out. That's not what we want. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We need our ball one last time. So go ahead and grab it. In between the legs, we have bridges with adductions. Posterior tilt, drive through the heels, engaging the glutes. One squeeze of the ball, and then we bring it back down. We go in 3, 2, 1. Posterior tilt, drive it up, hard squeeze of that ball, release it down. Inhale, exhale to drive, squeeze, release it down. Inhale, posterior tilt, drive through the heels, squeeze the ball, control it down. So if we don't come into that posterior tilt, what I see all the time, this posterior tilt gives you the best glute engagement from my experience. And if you don't do this, what the tendency is to kind of lead and put pressure on the lumbar spine, the lower back, and it will cause you to stretch out the abdominal areas, so that then becomes impossible to engage. So this slight little roundness right here is good stuff. The glutes are firm. Last 3, 2, 1. Take that ball away. Final exercise are heel slides. So we're right here. We bring one foot out and then we slide it back in. I don't have socks on, so I'm going to be just lifting my foot up and then dragging it in. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Engage TVA. Inhale, exhale to draw it in. Inhale, exhale, draw it in. Inhale out, exhale, draw it in. Now I have a very lordotic spine, so I have got to press my low back into the mat or else my belly is stretched. Find what works for you. That is a method that has worked well for me and my clients. My clients and I. Here we go, final 15 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Great job. That is it. We are done. I'm just going to hit pause because I set it to 15. All right, nice work. Bring that left knee in towards the chest and give yourself some little baby circles. And then let's go counterclockwise. And let's switch. Inhale, right knee up, little circles. And then switch. bring that right foot down. We're coming into a figure 4 stretch. So outside of the left ankle goes over this right quad. Draw the right knee in. Oh, my belt. I gotta move my mic first. So draw the right knee in. As we inhale, press against this left inner thigh. As we exhale, pull the right knee in. Keep dorsiflexing at the ankle. We should feel a nice, intense stretch in that left glute, left hip. Big, deep inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Let's switch sides. Outside of the right ankle goes over that left quad. Inhale to draw it in. Press against that right inner thigh. Exhale, pull the left knee in. One side may be tighter than the other. That's okay. Let's release those legs. Inhale for just a long line, stretching from the fingertips to the toes. And as we exhale, let's roll over onto our left side, push off against the outside of the right hand, and come up into a nice, easy seat, whatever that is for you. Inhale, arms reach up. As we exhale, take a nice gentle side bend up and over to the right. Inhale up to center. Exhale, gentle side bend up and over to the left. Inhale up. As we exhale, let's open up the chest. Draw the elbows slightly behind the rib cage. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Great job today, mama. You rock. Let me know how you did in the comments below, and have a wonderful rest of the day.